revolutions, finding interpretation of the past and the present and the future. The computer is just above and beyond all that, and it's the greatest tool ever invented. The previous step was Gutenberg, with the invention of the printing, of the words, and type and so on. The great invention at the time was paper, fabulous invention, because before paper there was pergamene, there was just skin, not really very easy for the diffusion of culture. As a matter of fact, it was just kept in the monasteries. Paper is the one that brought culture out of the monastery into public realm. And type, Gutenberg made it possible indeed. So, and for 500 years, nothing happens thereafter, basically. And then all of a sudden, a computer comes about, and it's the greatest revolution ever in culture. Now you can Google anything, you can find that you don't have to have books anymore, miles of encyclopedias and so on and so forth. Wikipedia is enough to begin to give you a quick idea of something. And then there are those fabulous blue words in the text, and they can expand even more. And while you're reading something, it grows into something else, and it's fantastic. I remember when I was looking at dictionaries, I was distracted by the words above and below the words I was looking for. You remember? And now I'm distracted, not distracted, enlarged, expanded by the blue words which are within the text that I'm looking for. So then you can do books today which have pictures, and then the blue word all of a sudden brings you a movie into the book. It brings you whatever you want, the people, stories, and so on and so forth. So the expansion in terms of information and culture is unbelievable. As a tool in our profession, graphic design, again, it's amazing. Of course, if you're good. If you're bad, if you don't have the discipline, it's the greatest disaster ever invented. You remember when, at the beginning, when desktop publishing, when every damn secretary all of a sudden became a designer. God, it was a nightmare. Every garage has signs with the type, squeezed and compressed, and it was the death of type. And in a sense, I was kind of happy because type was totally useless, from that point of view. And that's another story. But the computer, to make it short, it is the greatest thing ever. And in our professions, it helps a lot. However, the hand and the mind, still the master. You can design things. When you design, you get to the essence in your sign, in your drawings. With the computer, it's just perfect, finished job. But without any soul, the essence is not there. You've got to work. It takes a long time, much longer than the computer, to get your spirit out than it gets with the pencil. And the pencil really is the projection of your mind. The computer, you have to work in and out, in and out, Photoshop, It's great, it's a tool, but very slow in terms of ideas. Very fast in terms of nothingness. That's great.
But meanwhile, he's got the Weekender app.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For the map that he did in the 70s is now translated with the Weekender app for all your subway knowledge. It's
well, the map we did in the 70s has been the pretext, in a sense, for inviting us back to design a new map when we did to do the Weekender. It is a great thing. See, the transport was very fun. In 72, it's on a fabulous map. Great. But it was done by hand, so to speak, and with no information beyond hearsay. It's amazing. Yeah, there must be a station there, kind of thing, So it was great, conceptually 90 degrees, 45 degrees, every line a different color, every station a dot, no dot, no station, blah, blah, blah. So easy. Then in 1979, they changed the system and they gang up the lines. So let's say 4, 5, and 6, which were 3 different colors, all of a sudden became the same color, green, and so on and so forth. So it was a perfect excuse for designing a new map. They could have come to us and said, Massimo, this is the new situation, can you adjust the map? Instead, how politics are in this situation. There were people complaining quite rightfully that the map wasn't very accurate. The map, however, is a diagram, it's not a map, it's not a straight map. Tourists couldn't find the place because there was no plan to be found there. So they designed a map, God forbid, putting everything that, including their grandmother address. Unbelievably bad. With balloons all over the place. The whole culture of cartoons, which is the main culture around, as you know, it came to fruition into the map. And so there were all these kind of balloons and so on. And that map went on and on and on for a long time. Then in the last few years, someone that had a new mind decided to take the cartoons away, the balloons away, and they cleaned it up a little, but still the same funny map, all spaghetti work going like this. Who cares if the subway, if the train goes like this? All you want to know, you're going from point A from point B. How the train goes there is their business, not your business.
That's why we have the MPA.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's okay. In '79 I was mad about that things, kind of. Then I could get used to anything, But it was great when in 2010, well, first in 2008, Mansfield called and says every year we're doing an auction, a benefit thing, and a special, limited edition. And we would like to do the subway map. And so, oh God, I remember the fatigue of doing the first one by hand. I didn't want to do it again. But my associate, Beatrice Fuentes and Waterhouse, they said, Massimo, today it's much easier to do it. You can do it with a computer, there are different layers, there's information. Okay, let's do it again. Fine, terrific, and we did it. And the transit authority at that point, they see it, and they appreciate the correctness. Because today, you don't go by hearsay anymore. We have, satellite pictures. We know exactly where the station is, down in the ground. And at least on the ground, not underground, but at least on the ground. So that the relationship between the station and the geography could be a little more accurate than we had before, and so on. Then in 2010, the Transit Authority decided to do the weekend, which is a great idea. So everybody can find out where the train goes, and when it goes, and where if it's working. And so they call us to do a map, a diagram for the weekend. Then we say, well, let's design the whole weekend. So we designed the whole weekend, and that's what we can see when we use it. And it works quite well. And so during the weekend it was fine because there are some lines that they don't work on the weekend, so they become ghosted. And then there are all the stations, of course, they have a dot. And if there is some problem on the station, it's blinking, so you can see it right away. And this is what the computer comes about. You see, you can never do anything like that with the printing. Printing is dead. I can let you say that. Printing is dead. The only digital information will grow in the future. Printing is absolutely dead, useless, costly, expensive, and cumbersome, and a real estate problem. Where to put all these things, all those books, where you put that? You can have the greatest amount of books you want just by clicking. mean, aren't we lucky what we have now compared to having walls in my apartment? I can walk around anymore because of the books. You know?
You heard it here first from graphic designer, Massimo Vignelli. Books,
Yeah, but designing books still fine. The only thing is instead of printing them, you put it online, you know. And because you put it online, as I was saying before, if you want to make a movie reference, and you know, boom, you say anything, say dryer. And it's not like not washer and dryer, but dryer as in there comes Jeanne d'Arc, you know, or things like that. So you have a Cinematheque and then a minute there in the text, if that's what you like. So we are entering the best time that mankind has ever had because of the computer, because of what it can do, because of the culture we have behind, the present, and the awareness of what could be in the future. And it's so exciting. And I mean, the only bad news about this is exiting my life when this fabulous new episode is coming in. However, I've done my side, I've done my role, and I'm kind of very relaxed about it. So it's all up to